Okay, good morning everyone. Shalom Aleichem, Bruchim Habayim. Agun Erev Shabbos. Nice to see everybody back. Hope everybody is well. I want to begin today's shir with Davar Be'itai, connecting Parshas Pekudei with Purim. We're completing now a sefer on Chinuch Habanim, and also we're going to print very soon on Lag BaOmer in English. If anybody would like to be mishtatev, the opportunity is available. Parshas Pekudei. How can we connect Parshas Pekudei to Purim? Haba Aleinu L'Toiva. Parshas Pekudei is usually read in Chodesh Adar, and in some years even as a hakdama to Purim. One of the dominant themes in Pekudei is the collection of the Bekala Gogolis Machzal Shekel for the purpose of the Adonim. So I'd like to present to you the following idea. We know that the opening Mishnah in Megillah is Megillah Nikres, B'Yid Aleph, B'Yid Beis, B'Yid Gimel, B'Yid Daled, B'Tes Vav. Lo Pachos V'lo Yoser. We are trained to understand that to mean not earlier and not later. But Pachos and Yoser literally does not mean earlier and later, it means less and more. Why does it say not less and not more? It should say not earlier and not later. There's a well-known remez of the Vilna Gaon that Yud Aleph, Yud Beis, Yud Gimel, Yud Daled, Tes Vav, if you add it up, you get 65. You get 65, which is the gematria of the name of Hashem. Adnos, Aleph, Daled, Nun Yud, is 65. Megillah, Hashem is revealed, Nikres, the way it's read, B'Yud Aleph, B'Yud Beis, Yud Gimel, Yud Daled, Tes Vav, you add it up, 65. Only with the Shem Adnos, Hashem's name is understood and recognized only with the Shem Adnos on Purim. Loi pachos v'lo yoser, not less and not more. Less would be 10, more would be 16. 10 and 16 is the Shem Havaya. The Shem Havaya is not in the Megillah. This is the great remez of the Vilna Gaon. There are different neschais of this. Rav David Kohen in his Sefer Yemei HaPurim has, from the Moscow edition of the writings of the Vilna Gaon, that this is the remez, not less and not more, not 10 and not 16, the Shem Havaya. The Shem Havaya is not in the Megillah, but instead Hashem's name is recognized be'adnos, Aleph Daled Nun Yud equals 65. So you'll ask, but the Adnos is not in the Megillah either. No name of Hashem is in the Megillah. But the explanation is the Shem Adnos reflects Hashem's Malchus, reflects Hashem as king. Like the Noda B'Yehuda says, the Maral explains, and the Hashem's Hanhaga within the Teva, and Melech we do have in the Megillah. Melech reflects the Shem Adnos. Melech reflects the Shem Adnos in the Megillah. Now we could say then, actually I said over this remez recently in London, and one of the Rabbanim there, Rabbi Tugendhaft, mentioned to me from Reb Tzadok HaKohen that the first Mishnah in a Masechta encapsulates the whole Masechta. And according to this remez of the Vilna Gaon, it comes out very beautiful how the first Mishnah in Megillah encapsulates the whole Masechta. Because the whole theme of Purim is that Loi Pachos V'lo Yoser, the Shem Havaya is not in the Megillah. Hashem's hand was not openly revealed on Purim. Instead, Hashem was within nature. Toicha Teva. That's the theme of Purim. That's why it's in the first Mishnah. But therefore, if one of the dominant themes of the Megillah is Adnos, Megillah Nikres, Yud Aleph, Yud Beis, Yud Gimel, Yud Daled, Tes Vav, I would suggest that Adnos is the dominant theme of Parshas Pekudei, because there must be some connection between the Shem Adnos and the topic that occupies a good chunk of the Parsha, the Adonim. The Adonim. There must be a connection between the Adonim and the Shem Adnos. And in fact, the Chidushei Harim writes that in Aden, the Adonim is Milashon Adnos. And the 100 Adonim also reflect the Meir Brachos with which we're Mamlech Hashem, which is the theme of the Megillah. So the Adonim is a reflection of the Shem Adnos and the Malchios of Hashem and the 100 brachos we make. And then I saw another kesher, because actually the Shem Adnos is equal to 65. However, there is if you take the letters Aleph, Daled, Nun, Yud, and you spell it out b'miloi, so Aleph would be Aleph, Lamed, Pei, Daled is Daled, Lamed, Taf, Nun is Nun, Nun, and Yud is Yud, Vav, Daled, and then you take those letters and you spell them out, there are another 35 letters. So Aleph, Daled, Nun, Yud with the Miloi and the Miloi de Miloi is 100. Aleph, Daled, Nun, Yud is the equivalent of 65. And there are another 35 letters of Miloi de Miloi. So actually, the Shem Adnos is 100. The Shem Adnos is 100, which is a reflection of the Mea Adonim. Furthermore, Rabbi Yitzchak Isaac Chava writes that why did we use the Machzas HaShekel to make the Adonim? The Machzas HaShekel, the Al-Shech HaKadosh says, teaches the unity of the Jewish people, where each Jew feels like he's part of one entity. Everyone is a half an entity without the rest of the unit of Klal Yisrael. The purpose of Machzas HaShekel is to teach Achdus. Therefore, Rabbi Yitzchak Isaac Chaver said, they made the Adonim out of the Machzas HaShekel so that the whole Mishkan stood upon and was based upon the unity of the Jewish people. Because he says, V'lachei na'asu min hashkolim Adonim l'Mishkan, she'hamishkan oimed alav. Because so long as there's Achdus in Klal Yisrael, we become that is the Heichal and the Mishkan of the Shechina. So the theme of the Adonim is a very important theme. Comes Purim time, like we mentioned last week on Vayakel, that to counteract Haman, many of the mitzvahs are Purim, are to demonstrate that we are one entity. Haman said, Yeshnai am echad mefuzar mefayrad. So Esther says, Lech kenois es kol haYehudim. That's why the Vilna Gaon points out there are many words in the Megillah that should be b'lashon rabim and are written b'lashon yachid. For example, Nikhalu haYehudim ve'amoid. It doesn't say ve'amdu. It says ve'amoid. The Gra says ke'ish echad ve'amoid lashon yachid. Or there Nikhalu haYehudim ve'amoid. Or kiyamu ve'kibel. It's written kiyamu. It's ksiv ve'kibel b'lashon yachid. This all indicates that in order to be masakein the infraction that Haman was pointing out, we had to come together as one. That's also the reason for Mishleach Manos, the Manos Halevi writes, and for Machzas HaShekel. So therefore the Adonim were made from the Machzas HaShekel, because the unity of the Jewish people allows Hashem to rest upon us, and that's why the Mishkan stood on the Adonim, which came from the Machzas HaShekel. Now, an interesting idea that my friend Rabbi Yisrael Eliezer Levi pointed out something to me, but I'm saying a bit different, is that Moshe Rabbeinu gave a bracha to Klal Yisrael. Yiratzain shetishra shchina b'masei yadeichem v'hinayam. When was that bracha given? I always thought it was given when the Mishkan was put up on Rosh Chodesh Nisan. However, it says Moshe saw all the malacha, and they did what Hashem commanded, and Moshe gave a bracha. But l'chayra, this is going back on, Moshe gave the bracha when they brought him the Mishkan. The Medrash Tanchuma says that it was Rosh Chodesh Adar, that the bracha of Moshe Rabbeinu v'hinayam was Rosh Chodesh Adar. Therefore, this is a perfect introduction to the Yom Tov of Purim. We read about the bracha that Moshe Rabbeinu gave them in the very beginning of Chodesh Adar. So that means Parshas Pekudei is taking place in Chodesh Adar. So it's Mamish, Davar, Yafeh, Be'itai. And my friend from France, Rafael Anshel, reminded me that we know that each month of the year is associated with another letter of the Aleph Beis. The month of Adar is connected to the letter Kuf. In that case, if you look in the Parsha, the number 100 is also a common number found in the Parsha. Namely, we have the 100 Adonim, and we also which, by the way, corresponds to the Shem Adnos, which is 100. Remember, Aleph Dal Nun Yud is 65, together with the Miloi de Miloi is 100, plus the Adonim were made out of Meya Kikar Kesef. So this is all to show that in the month of Adar, the dominant ois that's associated with Adar is the ois Kuf. So therefore the theme of Kuf, of 100, is a dominant theme in Parshas Pekudei. Okay, Rabbi say, those are some thoughts connecting Parshas Pekudei to the Zman, Hashana, Chodesh Adar, and Purim, Haba Aleinu L'Tova. I want to share with you something short on Kriya Shema.
Recording stopped.